We're space engineers. Yay! And today, I've been mining a little bit. I am seriously starting to regret not putting drills on this thing. Let's get up here. Okay, so, yeah. I've been doing just a little bit of mining. Basically just sitting here skimming back and forth, finish up a line, and then start another one. Oh, anyway, so we did get Bob fixed. I actually found a person who figured out what it was in the code. So for those who aren't familiar with what's going on, the Nanobot build and repair system, aka Bob here, broke in one of the recent updates. So what happened was Keen software actually changed the way that block power detection works. So there's actually a hidden stat in there that's, how can I say it? Basically, it looks at if a block is getting enough power off the grid. And because they changed that, Bob hasn't been updated yet. So there are a couple of patches available on the workshop. If you're comfortable with doing a little bit of code editing, there's a single line that you have to change maybe half of. If you're curious and want to get into it, let me know. Just throw a comment down in the comment section, and what I'll do is I'll actually link the instructions on how to fix it, so you don't have to actually load another mod if you don't want to. I'm also been made aware that there's a couple of YouTube videos that will walk you through the process as well, but it just depends on how comfortable you are with a code editor. So I've been doing a lot more code work lately, so I've actually got a text editor that I use. It's the N++. Basically, it's our Notepad++, which works really, really well for the Windows side. And then Apple, if you're on a Macintosh, they've got some different apps that do the same thing. Notepad++ was, from my understanding, was because the person really liked an app that was available on Mac OS, but not available on PC. So they built basically their version of it. It works really well. That's all that matters. Oh, anyway. All right, so what do we have? We've got 86K. Is that all the uranium we have? Because Bob is working. As you saw, he's picking stuff up for us. What we're going to do is I'm going to grab, like 10K of it. And we're going to run this up to the station here. Because what we don't have yet is a way to connect into the network here. So we have the ship, we have no way of getting stuff in. And I know I said I was going to do the large cargo pod, and I really want it to. But I've been mining so much. I completely forgot. Oh. Alright, so anyway, do we have... Get a little closer, there we go. I don't even remember what we have. Okay, we don't have anything in here right now. How much iron do we have? Not much. And see, I've been letting the stone down here despawn. So I think there's some iron in one of these hills, one of these asteroids. Maybe we'll tell Bob to start picking up the stone too. I think we'll tell Bob to go ahead and start picking up the stone. Mainly because of the fact that I had him ignoring the stone because I just didn't want everything jammed up with it. But I think if we're going to be here for a while, I think it's not a bad idea for Bob to go ahead and pick this stuff up for us. Alright. That should be a wee bit of stone. See, this is the nice thing, is that stone is really easy to get. What I should do is actually build a large grid mining vehicle. Actually, we have a large grid mining vehicle. What I should do is go back and put a jump drive on said large grid mining vehicle. I think it would probably be good to bring that over here. But we still need a way of connecting to the base for the base to process stuff. So, okay. We're gonna grab that. Basic refinery should be off, right? Yeah, okay. Just want to make sure they're not processing it. Okay, so let's go ahead and drop that stuff in. So the reason I don't want the basic refinery processing the stone is that the full refinery gets a bonus. So we want that to be producing as much of the material for us as possible. But yeah, it's slightly better on the better efficiency on the processing, because you see how we have like already had almost 500 off of just that one stack. If we were to do the same in the basic refinery, you get, I want to say, maybe 2/3 of that. I don't remember what the actual ratio is on it, so if anybody remembers, feel free to throw that down in the comments section too. Oh, anyway. Let's go ahead and drop one more stack of that off. So what I'm trying to do is to get enough material together that we can, you know what, cancel that. Oh man, go ahead and make, what is it? Is it 64 for one of these, right? I don't remember. I queued up a bunch. No, it's 32. Okay. I basically queued up a bunch to get a couple more solar panels up. So we now have 12 solar panels, which, as far as this base is concerned, is probably overkill. Especially since I have a ship with a reactor down there. But yeah, okay. Anyway, I need yeah, there we go. I need, we're gonna do large cargo, right? Just since we have a theme going here. All right, so nothing on top, nothing on the bottom. It's all on the sides and ends, huh? It'd be nice if there was a difference in capacity for these guys. I do like the way that looks, though. All right. Anyway, let's go ahead and, because we need an interior plate. So let's go ahead and throw 10 of those in there really quick. All right. So originally I was going to sink this thing. I think I still am. because we've got a love affair of the new pipe blocks. May as well. We need you to go like so, like so, and hey, no, none of that. Goofball. All right, and see, it'd be awesome if there was one on the top, because then we could set it like that. I guess we can do that, right? Okay. And so now we're going to you out of there. Alright, let's go see. Didn't I just charge up? Sheesh. I'm telling you, man, deep space and space engineers, crazy fast for the battery drain now. Hopefully that means we're gonna see some new suits or something coming out that'll have a better survivability rate. I think that would be kind of cool. All right. I can't believe I just did that. It's actually not that bad. How much iron are we needing? We need 220 nickel and a bunch of iron. We have 8 nickel. Yeah, we need to get some stone up in here. Oh man, which means I'm probably gonna have to take some of these guys out. Alright. And we're gonna shuttle stuff back up here. If we can get in there. And see, what I should be doing is I should go ahead and put Bob in. And I think what we're going to do, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to have the cargo container over here, is that we'll build Bob off the side of this thing, which would mean most of, if not the entire pit, will be within Bob's area of influence. So what we can do is come over here and just mass excavate this thing. And yes, I know that there's a version of Bob for mining and extracting, but I don't want to use that because I'm gonna say it's cheesy, only because of the fact that it's not even like you have to build a mining rig for it. You just build it, point it where you want it, and it'll extract, you know, whatever resources you tell it to pull out. And the mod that does that also has the ability to say you just want the resources without destroying the terrain. And what it'll do is it swaps the texture as it's mining or something like that. I don't remember the details on it. I used it once a long time ago. So it may be a different mod that I'm thinking of, but there are mining mods like the Bob mining where basically it'll just swap the textures and pull the resource value out. So it replaces it with stone. Like it's a little cheap for me, but you know, I'm not going to knock anybody who uses it. I definitely see the benefit of it. And if I wasn't recording this playthrough, honestly, yeah, I'd probably use something like that too if I needed to excavate large amounts of ore and I just didn't want to be bothered to bring or build a mining rig. So, you know, it's a quality of life comfort thing. People want to use it, let them use it. Nothing wrong with it. I won't use it. At least not while recording. Because a lot of what we do here is, you know, we bring you the gameplay as it is. Excuse me for that. My throat was a little dry. I had to get a little over. Alright. So we are recharged once again. Okay, so let's grab a little bit more. I hate the fact that that drill sometimes bugs out like that. So it looks like this is kind of shallow. Because I think we're starting to run out of uranium here. In certain areas, at least. Alright. So that'll keep Bob busy for a moment. We really need stone. So let's go ahead and get a bunch of stone. I think Bob picked up what, like 50k of stone for us? And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and start picking this up, let Bob pick up some of it. And we'll transfer the stuff off of Bob over to the base as well. Okay, so we've got plenty of that. Let's go ahead and put that away so we don't accidentally destroy something again. I haven't done it recently, but it just means I'm about due. Alright. What I'd really like is to be able to have Bob set up so that you can have wireless transmission. I think that would be actually kind of cool. And in game, you could justify it as basically having a beacon on your base. Because one of the Nanobot mods, not the one from this creator, not for Bob, but one of the earlier ones, actually uses a beacon system, so you can set markers down, and depending on the marker that you set, it'll do things like deconstruct all the grids in the area out to a certain radius of the marker. That one was kind of interesting because you could actually do the mining with that one too, at least later on in its life. I need to check to see if that mod still works. Actually, I haven't seen anything from it in a long time, so be interesting to see if that mod works. Because it was a little bit, it's about as cheesy as Bob is. But it's a little bit better balanced, I think, because it was really, really expensive to build in game. You had to build, I think it was effectively like 10 jump drives, parts wise, and it's huge. It's not something that you put on like a ship like this. The station for it is like the size of the back half of the ship. Just absolutely insanely huge for, you know, it's effectively a single special purpose block. I mean, it was on scale of the industrial overhaul mod. Not the official Keen stuff, but there was a one of the modding community did one called Industrial Overhaul, and we used it in the last multiplayer series we did with the Dredden, actually. So it adds a whole lot of really cool things. Changes the resource table. It adds new materials. It rebalances all of the construction stuff. So it brings things more in line with each other. So instead of requiring 21 ingots of iron to make a plate, it took less ingots. But everything else, the other things may have taken more, may have taken less, and they had a bunch of new components that got added in, so you had to basically build all of this stuff. And because of the way that the mod is set up, you don't have just one assembler. There's like a microelectronics center that does nothing but, you know, the computers and advanced computers. And you needed all of these things in order to build pretty much anything. There was a, it had its own tech tree progression, which was amazing. I mean, it was a really, really well done mod. The one reason I didn't load it for this one is because the different pieces that you use, the different crafting stations, are so big you can't put them on an average ship. In order to use that on a ship, and like effectively use everything and be able to build everything, your ship would be a literal flying city. I mean, the thing was huge, and it wasn't like just one of them. I want to say it was, let me see, maybe 12 different devices, like 12 different workstations you had to build. There was a portable workbench that'll let you do some basic stuff, but it had no tie-in to inventory. You had to manually load it, choose what you wanted to build, and crank it out like that. Okay. But yeah, fun. It was a really fun mod. I really enjoyed using it. Like I said, it's just not practical for a recording series. It worked for that one because it was story-based stuff, and I know a couple of you have been asking when we're coming back to that, and it is currently being worked on. We just ran into some production stuff because oh, I'm lazy. No, the real thing is that we're trying to nail down some of the story element items, so we want it to be good. So I thought that was spinning. I was like, oh man. Alright, so drop you and drop you. But yeah, we are coming back to it. There is a plan for it. We just have to actually execute on that plan. So, like I said, it's really my fault for most of it. So, actually, it's my fault for all of it. Alright. So let's get this. Now, all we're doing is trying to get enough ore together that we can build some stuff. It's like, man. You can see I'm probably going to have to put chapter guides in on this one. Oh yeah, I was going to ask everybody. I've asked people on and off if they like the chapter guides I do sometimes. If you like those and you find them useful, let me know, because I think I've said before I won't do them for every video, or I probably won't do them for every video. But some of the videos, like when we're doing more of a tutorial thing, I like to use it because it'll let you skip exactly where you want. Like when we did the LCD tutorial, I used it there. So if you haven't seen that, you might go check it out and let me know what you think. Okay, let's see. A little bit more mining over here. And okay. What I'm hoping is that this will be enough in the near future to get stuff done. Alright, so let's check our production really quick. Oh, nice. Okay, so it did finish. Look at that. Okay. And now we can drop stuff directly in there. Actually, I'm gonna check. 4.2, yeah, okay. So yes, there's no difference between that and the regular large cargo. Great. Okay, so what we want to do from here then is...
Energy low.
Of course it is. Let's grab all of those, grab some of those. And I think I have some more plates down here. Which actually, let's just go in. We'll get charged up. Just really quick. There you go. And do I have any plates in here? I do. I've got a bunch of plates. Which means I can probably pull. Let's add that. Go ahead and clear this stuff off. And throw you on there. Alright, so we've got the connector. I want a pipe end. Do two of the flanges just because we can. And I'm really tempted to use one of these. But I could use just the cube. You know what? Let's add one of those. And I'm actually going to need... I'm probably going to need that much. Which... interior plates. Alright, so let's head up here. I'll show you what I'm thinking here. Okay, so we need to have enough clearance on this thing. That we'll be able to get out and away. And so let's go. Ah, crud. Quit doing that. Been playing too much of another game. Oh. There we go. Do that. Do that. And do that. Alright, so what we're going to do is let's clear all that. Actually, we'll clear this as well. So the build planner has an issue.
Energy low.
Where it will spread parts over everything in it. So it used to be that it would fill, you know, the whatever was in the first block. So you know you have your queue here. What it would do is it would fill the order for the first one and then fill the second and the third and fourth. Well, now what it does is that if you need interior plates, instead of needing however many, right? How much does that thing actually use? So normally you need 14 interior plates, right? If you notice, everybody needs 13. So if I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so I'll have 6 plus whatever is necessary for that connector. Got myself turned around again. There we go. So we picked up what we need for here. And so the reason this is a problem is because if, say, the connector, which is using a lot of the same parts as the tubes, if the connector is at a different build stage than everything else, but it needs, let's say it's missing, the parts that you would use for here, you'll pull the parts and it may or may not actually allocate them all to the connector. But when you weld it up, the welding doesn't go off the same priority system. The welding system says it has this many it needs. You happen to have that many in the inventory. We're taking them. So what will happen is you'll end up sometimes with like miscellaneous stuff down here. And when you get to the last block, you go to pull parts out of the grid, and you don't have all the parts, even though you do. It's really weird. So, yeah, but sometimes it just does weird things.
Energy critical.
Alright. Anyway. Yeah, so like I was saying, basically when you queue stuff up, you'll sometimes get weird things going on in here. Let's see. Okay, you have 2K iron. How much do we have? We've actually got some decent amount of iron here. We may have everything we need except for the nickel. So we're going to go down, we're going to recharge one more time. And see, once we get this all set up, we won't need to move the ship. What we'll be able to do is we'll be able to park the ship, leave Bob turned on, come down and just mine the crap out of all of this uranium. And I won't have to keep running back and forth. I won't have to hand stuff off between the different systems. But yeah, so we need to. That's why I'm prioritizing this. All right. So now we can come in here, and then what I'm thinking is that I may come back. I may go back to the moon base and put a jump drive on our drill, because it was meant to be an exploration / long range endurance item, and I kind of want to use it that way. But if I bring it over here, I can bring it over here and park it, because I'll be able to mine this out within minutes with that thing. And so yeah. All right, so I am going to I'm going to call this one here, because I am going to be mining for, well, be transferring stuff for a little while and then just welding this thing up. And once it's welded up, I just need to move the ship up here and get some mining done, get the uranium processed, because I'd like to get like maybe 150 ingots or so out of what we've got here, load that up into the ship, and then we can head back. We'll build we'll build a jump drive on the mining rig that we have, and then yeah, bring that back over here and mine this thing out. Okay. So like I said, I think we are going to call this one here. I want to thank y'all for stopping in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I know we've been kind of weird with the building lately. I honestly was expecting to not find the uranium as fast as we did. It's like when I'm not seriously looking for it, I find it all over the place. When I actually need it or want it, nope, can't find it. I've got one playthrough that I did where I think I spent more than 10 hours looking for uranium, and I found, I want to say something like maybe 50 ingots worth of it. It was like one node that gave me almost no uranium. I was like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. I spent more energy looking for uranium, then I got out of the uranium vein. Anyway. Yeah, thus is the life of a space engineer, right? Anyway, I am going to get out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic day. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you, well, you know the spiel. I don't have to keep telling you guys. I know I keep saying it. For some reason, I keep wanting to say, you know, hit those likes, hit subscribe for more. But everyone, unless you're new to YouTube, you already know the routine. I don't need to keep saying it. I probably won't. At some point, I'll remember not to say it anymore. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Hope you all have a fantastic day. Have a terrific rest of your week, and we will see you back here next time for more Space Engineers. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. I don't want to transfer any more stone. Oh well, is what it is, right?